Whenever I game, I stream. Okay, so what do you do when your old ass dog wake you up in the wee hours of the morning because someone else in the house is awake? So she got restless and wanted to go out. Well, I guess after you're woken up, you try to play a new board game. Yeah, I couldn't go back to sleep, so I was like, you know what? Let's see. Let's try and learn origin story. Just got this game recently. It's supposed to be a simple game, so yeah, let's do it in the wee hours of the morning. Usually, when I when I do a board game stream like this early in the morning, it gets kind of crazy because my brain is not there. But I think um, I think I'm awake. So let's check this out. Okay. I've already unboxed this when I got it. Make sure that all the components are there. But yeah, some of these cards have like weird sizes, so I was only able to sleeve like the main component of the game because I know there's like heavy shuffling in this game potentially. So we'll see. So origin story. The reason why interested, I got interested in this game was because it's a superhero um, theme game, but it's different. It's like I guess the theme of the game is like you're building the origin of your hero or something like that. Well, let's look at the explanation in the manual. Um, okay. Your inner superhero is ready to emerge, one chapter at a time. Reveal your backstory, gather gadgets and allies, develop a grudge against your arch enemy, and unleash an ultimate ability as you transform. Use a combination of brains, love, speed, and strength to craft your origin story. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. They always have this like thing I notice with some of the recent board games about Dice tutorial. I guess it's an app. I don't know if it's free or not. It says skip the rule book, but the promise of skipping the rule book is it's a tempting one. But usually, yeah, because I've tried playing a board game before using like a video on YouTube. It's just not the same. You usually have to learn as you play. I think it's probably the best way to learn a board game, and that's also dependent on the how good the rule book is written. Because some rule books they allow you to kind of play along as you read through it, and some of them are like more like Unconscious Mind, for example, is a little bit where you kind of have to read it to kind of understand what's going on. But yeah, this should be pretty simple. You can see the rule book is like maybe 8 pages, and then there's like the solo mode, which is also about 8 pages. So we'll see. Um, okay, so overview and goal, and it claims that this game can be played in 45 minutes, up to 5 players. But you know me, in this game room, it's all solo play only. If a game doesn't have a solo mode, I'm not there, because it will be almost impossible. And who knows? Sometimes later in life maybe. Um, I guess I can never. I shouldn't give up on the idea that perhaps one day I can play some of these board games with other people. Um, I guess you never know. Okay. Overview and goal. Origin Story is an engine building, trick taking game played over 5 rounds. So you only play it for 5 rounds. Okay. Each round represents a chapter in your development and grants a new card to add to your player mat. charge your cards and use their abilities to help you score more points than your opponents. Okay, yeah, sounds simple enough. Okay, solo mode. What I like about this manual when I was unboxing this was, I think it tells you immediately. It says, if you're playing the game solo, please skip this setup section and use the setup procedure for the auto mode rulebook, page 2 instead. So, yeah. So, that's cool because a lot of that's the first time I've ever seen that actually, because usually when a game has a separate solo mode, where you have to like look at uh, like an addendum or later section in the manual, they usually don't tell you. And then if you just read the solo portion, you can't understand the main game, which but you have to understand the main game to play the solo. So this is like definitely a lot more solo friendly because it's telling you, yeah, you don't need to worry about this. Why don't you look at the other part? So they want me to look at the Automa rulebook page 2, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that, which is this other one, and then I have to go back and read the other part though. It has at the top of the manual. It's pretty cool. It says skip this one, and it says, yeah, start reading this again if you're a solo player. Yeah. So it's pretty cool. All right, so let's just read what it says here for the solo manual. In this solo mode, you play against two Vancardians, artificial opponents, Automaton and Factorian, who each take place of a human player. You play by normal game rules, but the Vancardians are renegades who often do as they please. All core game rules not explicitly overwritten in this rulebook are still in effect. So, for example, love is a default trump suit. The Vancardians are considered players in the game. The Vancardians always choose the hero alignment. Many rules use criteria to select a playing card from a Vancardian's hand. If there are multiple valid options, she chooses the leftmost one. When a rule refers to highest or lowest card, it refers to solely the values of the card, including any adjustments, so suits don't matter. For example, Love 5 is lower than Strength 7. If you draw a story or superhero card with a, I don't know what this icon is, remove it from the game and draw a replacement. Okay, so this part is confusing. I guess we'll know once we get there. I guess because it's an icon where it says it's a robot, and it's like a no. So I guess the Vancardians can't use these cards because these cards are probably just a little bit more complex for Automaton to use. The hands of all three players will be placed in face-up rows. You'll be able to see the Vancardians playing cards. No peeking. You may not look through the playing cards discard pile of previous tricks. Okay. And I guess this is the setup. Whoa. For a small game, it sure requires a lot of space. So it looks like you need to have left hand area here is like the automaton's tricks, and then the Factorian's tricks, and then my tricks, and then deal a token. It's so let me see if I can set this up. I don't know. I guess we're just setting up the space now because it's giving you a blank area. It's just saying that. Okay, we'll see if this all works out. So we gotta flip it to the hero side. Now the cool thing about this game is, like, if you're playing with other people, it seems like there's like a superhero versus supervillain kind of a thing going on. And then, like, you don't know if the other player is playing a superhero or a supervillain. So that portion seems to be missing from this solo mode. I don't know how much. Well, it seems really cool, but solo players can't be choosers if they're really interested in a particular game. Unfortunately. All right, so I think yeah, this is good enough. Maybe we move it a little bit to the left. More to the left here. And then, so the cards, the tricks are going to be here, and then played. I guess the discard pile of played cards is going to be in the middle. Yeah, it's probably best to put it all the way to the left, maybe. Because they're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 cards tricks, and then played cards, and then I don't know when. Oh, this is, and then the hands are here. Okay. Well, we'll see how this works out. Ignore the setup in the game's rulebook. Follow the procedure below. Instead, return the event cards to the box. Solo specific events are on the Vanguardian cards. Oh, you don't even get to play the event cards? Because it seems like there's some pretty cool events. Oh no, baby, I'm not taking you out again. You can dream on. Yeah, why don't you just go to bed, sweetheart? Vanguardian. Are these the Vanguardian cards? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think these are the Vanguardian cards. Okay. So there are like these event cards, which I thought was pretty cool when I was looking through them. It's like different things that happen. Okay. Just so exhausted sometimes. Okay, where was I? Yeah, these event cards. Apparently we don't have to use this. Let's see, the Vanguardian cards. It's almost as thick as the event cards, so maybe this is just the event cards, but the Vanguardian version of it, so maybe you don't miss out a lot. Well, it's not as thick. We'll see. Okay, so specified events on the Vanguardian cards. Place general tokens within reach to form the general supply. That'll be the stamina tokens. Shuffle the story cards and place them face down in the general supply. Story cards. Oh, these. Okay. Yeah, you do have to shuffle this. Yeah, they have. It's like a smaller. But the seems like the card is not as fragile. But when you're shuffling something this thick, that's the problem. I think it's just. So we'll do it this way. General supply, okay. But I don't know. Ever since the more I talk, I think the more I summon the wrath of Suki. But I don't know what the problem with our dog is. I don't know what happened to her. Like the 13 years that she was with the other family. And I think part of it too is because I miss Yoshi, But sometimes this dog, I don't know. But yeah, I was saying about sleeving cards, like, um, one of the first board games that I got actually was Marvel, Legendary Marvel, and I played the shit out of that game. And this was before I started streaming my board gaming activities. This was, when was that? I think it probably around 2023. I'm trying to recall where I was, because I attempted to stream myself playing a board game for the first time, and I remember using like a really small table. I probably still have that footage somewhere on YouTube. I'm sure I have it still. Yeah, I think I uploaded it, so it probably should be there. I have to look at it. That was the first time that I was streaming a board game, or recording it at least. But I remember after playing that game like 5-6 times, I did notice some fraying on the outer part of the cards, and that I was like, oh wow, these cards are like cheap. But you can tell, like, this one actually, it's like a thicker card that they use. Definitely feels a lot more premium than, say, the cards they use in Legendary Marvel. So it probably would last a little longer. I mean, if you're not worried about the frame, a little bit on the side. I mean, things to shuffle anyway. The only problem I think with that would be, like, you know what's coming, and I hate the idea of that. But if you don't pay attention to it, you know, I mean, if it's, and that's if that's going to be next, yeah, that's the only thing that takes away. It's maybe the surprise. But I didn't start sleeving until I was curious about the process, and I wanted to use a lot of Rogue in Marvel Champion. And I was like, you know, I'm gonna use Rogue a lot. Might as well just sleeve her deck. That was the original plan, and then I had extra, and I was like, oh, let me try and sleeve the cards in this game. So I started sleeving something else, and I was like, okay. And the funny thing is, when you're sleeving, it's kind of funny too. It's like it has a meditative feel to it. You're just sitting there like it's just kind of funny. But anyway, because I remember it expanded into the Marvel Legendary Marvel collection that I have. Because I was like, yeah, I'm gonna play more of this game. I'm gonna play more of this game. So let me start shuffling them, and I mean sleeving them, and I was like, oh, it has that icon here. So where's the one that I put away? Because it says don't use the ones with those icons here. No. Okay. Yeah, because I really do like. Oh, do I have to split these? I do. Okay. Okay, extra cards. What are those? And then the stamina tokens. You gain one random player mat. Gain one alignment dial set at 0. What do you mean gain a random player mat? What do you mean random player mat? I thought all the player mats are the same. What do you mean random? I gotta explain this a little more. You gain one random. I mean, random as in the your alignment. I know the for the Automa, they both heroes, but for you, you can become a hero or a villain. How does that even work? Shuffle the story card and place them face down in the general supply. Okay, so we already done that. Gain a random player mat. Gain one alignment victory points dial and set at 0. Okay, we already did that. I don't know about the random part though. Is what's confusing to me. Gain one stamina token and place it in the stamina supply of your. Oh, player mat as in the superhero mat. Okay. So we pick one at random. We don't choose which hero that we're gonna play. Okay, that's fine with me. Okay. Where's the superhero? Okay. I'm not sure what these are. Okay, so if we're gonna pick at random, I guess. Let me just pick at random. Vanguardians. Oh, and then the dealer token. Where would that be? Oh, it's over there. Okay, I'm going to select this one. Okay. The Vanguardians don't have their player mat apparently. Okay. I found the artwork for this game like interesting. They're not necessarily striking. They isn't that the bird from Wingspan? Because I know this is like the this is from Stone Maya game, and they made Wingspan, so that's a reference to Wingspan, I think. Wingspan and Dragon Span, whatever they call the dragon version, the Worm Span, Wingspan and Worm Span, right? Oh yeah, and then the boxes says Stone Maya games. I mean, are they all like that at the on the back? Let me see. Oh, they're all like that. I thought it was like hero specific. No, it's just a cute little art, I guess, that they want to put in the back of the hero panel. But this is the hero that I've selected, and it is Namandi. I don't know how you pronounce the double N, but Namandi. Namdi. Namdi. Okay, so okay, this is down here somewhere. Okay, let's clean up this space. Let's see here. We'll place it down here, looks like, next to the stamina supply, it says. So it's going to be down here somewhere. And this is the supply. We'll dump the stamina in there. And then we have this. Alright. Stamina tokens. Game alignment. Gain one alignment VP victory point dial. Okay, which is this one, right? So, gain one stamina token and place it in the stamina supply of your player mat. I think the stamina. Oh, this looks like the dialogue in the. Oh, because it fits that, I guess. So, start with one stamina. We'll put it right there. Gain 2 random superhero cards. Look at them and place them face down on the superhero space of your player mat. You will choose one later in round 5. Return unused superhero cards to the box. I think the superhero cards are over here. Right here. Is this random too? Okay. So we'll place them, looks like, over here. It's not too small for this. idea to put these in here. Because I'm going to damage the edge of the card if I keep taking these in and out of this. Yeah, I'll just have to put them away some other way. I don't know how I managed to put them in the first place, but so this is the other reason why digital games are superior, so you don't have to worry about the wear and tear, you know. But so I gain 2 random, and then I choose one in round 5, it says. So okay, and then put the rest of them away. Vancardians. Each Vancardians gain 1 alignment VP dial set to 0. Red hero side up. It didn't say for us whether we're hero or villain. I think maybe that's determined by... because I think the strategy is different if you're playing villain or hero, I thought. Because I think you score points as a villain when you lose tricks instead of... or something. If I remember correctly. Because I think I saw that somewhere. Okay, without looking at them, draw as many Vancardian... Okay, hold on. Separately shuffle the 2 set of Vancardian cards. Okay, I think I already kind of did that earlier. But... and then this one looks like goes down here. And this one goes up there. To form a face down event deck for each set. Okay. Select the difficulty between 0 easiest to 5 hardest. We recommend level 0. How do I don't see an option toggle somewhere. I use a controller to select the difficulty. They don't explain how you select the difficulty. If you want to mention some concept that's the first time they ever mention it, you gotta explain how that works. Without looking at them, draw as many Vancardian cards as the number of your chosen difficulty. Okay, hold on. Let me move stuff around though. This needs to be a little bit more to the left here. So it says from 0 to 5. So depending on the difficulty is the number of cards that you draw. The Vancardian cards, they gotta explain this a little bit more. Select a difficulty level, 0 easiest, 5 hardest. We recommend starting at 0 on level 0. Without looking at them, draw as many Vancardian cards as the number of your chosen difficulty level and place them face down to form the Vancardian deck. Then draw Vancardian cards without looking at them and place them on top of the Vancardian deck until you have a total of 5 cards in the Vancardian deck. On level 5, you don't add any Vancardian decks. Do not... What? Hold on. Without looking at them, draw as many of this one, depending on the chosen difficulty, and place them face down to form the Vancardian deck. Oh, okay. Then draw cards without looking at them and place them on top of the Vancardian deck until you have a total of 5 cards in the Vancardian deck. Example, on level 5, you don't add any Vancardian cards. Okay, I see. Alright, so I'm just grabbing 5 here. So why do we even have this then over here when we're just going to use 5? I think I'm jumping to conclusion here. So there's probably a reason why that's there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so this is going to be over here somewhere. They still haven't told me anything about these story cards. Extra love card is going to be, and where is that? Oh, I think it's here. There's this like extra love cards. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. It seems like you have to put them here. They still haven't explained that though. Shuffle a story card and place them face down in the general supply, which is this one. But the extra love cards, have they explained that? No. They didn't even explain some of these things that they, visually, these are like placed here, but there's no explanation of it. For a small manual, thin manual, they surely skipped some steps here. Shuffle the story cards and place them face down in the general supply. Yeah, they didn't say anything about these. I'm just gonna follow them, I guess, how it's showing on the in the rule book, but they didn't say anything about these. But I'm just gonna match what's showing in the rule book. So these are smaller, right? Yeah, they are smaller. I guess this is a discard pile over here. Stamina token, superhero. Maybe after this initial setup, things will get better. And then playing cards over here. Do I shuffle this playing card? It didn't say anything about shuffle. I'm sure you have to shuffle them. Okay. I am sure. So, but they're not even saying anything about shuffling cards and all of that here, which is kind of weird. Okay. A random player gains a dealer token. Since when guardians are just stacks of cardboard, they can't deal cards. You always do that. But the dealer token is used to determine who leads the first trick as normal. Okay. So do I shuffle the playing cards? You have to shuffle, I think, at the beginning. So anyway, so let me just, because you have to deal the cards. So I'll just start shuffling these. If I have to do something different, it's not a big deal, I guess. I mean, we got time before Suki shows up. Yeah, because these are like arranged by suits and stuff. So if you don't shuffle, give them a really good shuffle. It's going to be messed up. just grab these piles like randomly, and then just start shuffling them. Oh, because these are sleeve, I can just do this too. Okay, that should be good enough, I think. We'll just have to well, I don't think there's any discard pile, right? Okay, I think that's a random player gains a dealer token. Um, who leads the first trick as normal. So how do we determine? Just randomly? Okay. I guess we'll just do a randomizer and pick 1 to 3. This okay. Now I think I have to go back to the regular manual. Okay, player overview. Original story is a must-follow trick-taking game with the love as the trump suit. See trick-taking overview on page 7 for more information. The game is 5 rounds and 8 tricks each. At the beginning of each round, players will use stamina to charge story cards on their player mat, often after playing a new story card. Then they will choose their alignment for the round. Oh, okay. Heroes want to win tricks, villains want to lose all tricks. The third round includes a twist in the form of a random event card, and the fifth round begins with each player revealing their superhero identity. After playing all 5 rounds, each player will have a complete origin story comprising their character, 4 story cards, and 1 superhero card. Each trick represents a crisis. The winner of the trick is the player who performs the most heroic deed to save the day. So that's the background of the game. Alignment dial assembly. Okay, we already took care of that. Of course. How to play. Solo mode. If you're playing the game solo, please skip this setup section and use the round setup procedure in the Ultima rulebook page 4 instead. Okay, so I'm gonna skip and use this instead, and then looks like I can start again on page 6. Okay. Round setup and Vancardian keywords. Ignore the round setup instructions, instead follow the procedure. Gather and shuffle all 52 playing cards, exclude the extra love cards. Okay. Yeah, see, I mean, they should have mentioned that earlier so we can, take care of that to begin with right here. Deal 8 cards to yourself, placing them face up in a row above your player mat in any order. Okay, so let me deal 8 to myself, I guess. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and then the way that they recommend this is like you vertical and horizontal placement. But that's just kind of weird. I think that's just to save up space. I think is why they did that. But I think it's easier to put them like this. Maybe we should do it that way, because I think the game also requires like, oh yeah, a whole okay. We'll see. Because supposedly, like, this second half will take us same amount of space as this half, but I don't know. I guess we'll see in a minute. Because I think if you do this thing, what they recommend you do is like stack them like this. It's, I don't know. I guess it could be helpful. Okay. What is next? At the beginning of round 3 only, isn't there like a reference card for this? I think, yeah, these are the 2 reference cards for the Automa. Look at at these cards on the top of the Vanguard look at the on top of the Vanguardian deck. So we're not even looking at this, we're looking at this. Draw the topmost card of the matching event deck and place it on top of the event deck. Resolve the cards round 3 event, which applies only this round. Yeah, this is confusing as shit. For a supposedly simple game, let me see. At the beginning of round 3 only, look at the 1 lightning icon and 2 lightning icon on the top of the Vanguardian deck. But the Vanguardian, this is the Vanguardian cards. This is the Vanguardian deck. I'm so confused now. 5B. Separate the 2. This is the Vanguardian deck. Okay, so we're looking at this one to form the Vanguardian deck. So this is the Vanguardian deck over here on my right. So what are they blabbing about here? At the beginning of round 3, look at the or 2 on the top and draw the topmost card of the matching event deck. Draw the topmost card of the matching event deck and place it face up on top of the event deck. Resolve this card's round 3 event left side, which applies only during this round. I don't know what they're talking about. Draw the top card of the matching event deck and place it face down on top of the event deck. What? There's something I'm missing, or it's too early in the morning. It's either one of those 2. Because this is not making sense to me whatsoever. At the beginning of round 3 only, look at whether it's this or that. I know we didn't use because it says, without looking at them, draw as many Vanguardian decks as the number of your chosen difficulty. But I chose level 0, which is their recommended difficulty for the first game. So that means I draw none, because they want you to draw this first. And they say draw as many as the level of difficulty. So if you select a level difficulty of 0, you don't draw this. Okay? Then draw this without looking at them and place them on top of the Vanguardian deck until you have a total of 5 in the Vanguardian deck. So that means on level 5 you don't add any this to the Vanguardian deck. What? It's like there's something going on here. Draw as many as, because they want you to draw this as many as the number of chosen difficulty and place them face down. So 0, right? Then draw this and place them on top of the Vancardian deck, which is 0 at this point until you have 5 cards. Oh, okay, and then it says at level 5 you don't even add this. Okay, so now round 3, we look at this and it says a lightning. 1 lightning. Draw the topmost card of the matching event deck. Oh, here. And then place it face up on top of the event deck. Here. Resolve that card. So what's the point of this then? Okay, I just take it slow. Because, see, I mean, this manual is not well written. And I'll tell you why. Because if you don't know why you're doing things, you already lose the player. You gotta explain why you're doing things, and they're not explaining to you why you're doing things. Okay. It's like, why do we have this when we already have this? I mean, this just becomes an indicator. I mean, since we don't know how, there's just stuff that they still haven't explained, that so things are not clicking. It's like, okay, I can follow your instruction, but why? It's like one of those things. It's like, why am I doing this? Because if you know why you're doing certain things, it's easier for you to understand it. But it's like, okay, I'm just following what you're asking me to do. I don't know why I'm doing it, because it's like, why is this being formed is what I'm questioning, when this is the one that we're drawing. You know what I'm saying? It's okay, whatever. At the beginning of round 5, choose one as a superhero. Play it on top of your superhero mat. Gain its benefit and discard the other. Charge abilities. Place your stamina tokens on your abilities to charge them. Each story card shows its stamina cost in the upper left corner. Most cards have a single cost. For example, 2 is a single 2 stamina cost. If you have an ability that has 2 costs, what? 2 is a single 2 stamina cost. If an ability has 2 costs, you may choose how many to pay to vary its utility. Costs with minus are tied to remove abilities. See ability types in the game's rulebook for more information. When charged, abilities that cause cards to be exchanged with a Vancardian must be performed after Vancardian setup. On the next page. See, I mean, they're doing that again, where they are explaining something before the prerequisite knowledge is given to you. It's like, okay, check on the next page of what we just referred to you. So there's that disconnect, I mean, so anyway. Your character mat shows the character's specific ability and stamina cost. This ability can be charged and used like story card abilities. If you have excess stamina, it remains in your stamina supply for the rest of the round and may not be placed later during the round. Place your alignment VP dial of your chosen side, red hero or purple villain. Your goal is not to win any tricks. Okay, Vancardian setup. Set the 4 extra love cards off to the side. See, again, they showed it in the table setup, but they didn't explain it there until you get here. For each Vancardian, deal 8 playing cards and place them face down in a row from left to right in any order they were drawn. Okay. So with ours, we can do it in any order, but with the Vancardians, we have to make sure that it's any order they were drawn. Will that be significant? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Because we have this actually in order they were drawn to, but we're gonna do the same thing here for the two Vancardian decks, Vancardian players. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. And then next one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. Draw the topmost card from the Vancardian deck and resolve the effects. Wait, are we playing already? Is this round setup? Um, what am I doing? Let's see. Oh, I guess we're kind of playing already. Yeah, I mean, this is because this is just setup. It's just round setup. I thought they were just explaining how things work, but um, let's see. At the beginning of round 1 to 4, gain 1 stamina token from the general supply. Is that like an additional stamina token? Because I already have one, right? So at the beginning, okay, let me, okay, gameplay, okay. Maybe I need to read this gameplay part here. Maybe I was supposed to just, yeah, well, I guess they're not asking you to skip and then start reading these. I think they just want you to skip certain section and then just read the rest. So maybe that's why I'm getting a little confused. So I'll just start here. Um, Play a series of 8 tricks. See trick taking overview on page 7, which is the next section, for more information, including special 2-player rules. The leader for the first trick of each round is the player to the left of the dealer. But remember, we're not doing this multiplayer BS. We're doing the solo mode. Each trick has 4 steps. The leader plays a card, then the other player follows, playing on suit if possible. The winner is determined, and players transition to the next trick. While these are the standard rules of trick taking in Origin Story, many story cards will allow you to break these rules. Okay. End of round. A round ends after 8 tricks. Then each player follows these steps. You may use end of round abilities on your charged story cards and in round 5 your superhero card. At the end of the 3rd round, resolve any end of round abilities on the event cards. At the end of the 3rd round, for the event. Gain VP based on your alignment as a hero or villain this round. Return all stamina from your abilities to your stamina supply. The dealer token rotates clockwise to the next player. These are a few story cards that can change your alignment during, or there are few story cards that can change your alignment. For all hero villain scoring, it's only your end of round alignment and tricks one that matter. Okay. Ability types. All abilities have no effects unless charged. Before trick, these abilities apply before the first card of the trick is played. End of round. Okay, that's self-explanatory. After all the tricks. End of trick. These abilities apply at the end of each trick. First or final trick. These abilities only apply during the first or final trick of a round. On your turn, these abilities apply during each of your turns. Ongoing, these abilities apply continuously throughout the round. Remove. These abilities have the phrase, you may remove X stamina. X is typically 1 or 2. If you charge such an ability during round setup, you may remove stamina from the ability card. To activate the ability. Okay. When revealed, these abilities apply when the event or superhero cards are revealed. When charged, these abilities apply the moment you play stamina on story cards during round setup. Whenever you lead, these abilities apply whenever you lead, win or lose trick. These abilities apply when you win or lose a trick. The game ends at the fifth round. The winner is the player with the most victory points. If multiple players are tied for the most victory points, they share the victory. Oh. You don't get to fight? Okay. Trick-taking overview. In a trick-taking game like Origin Story, the players play cards from their hands over a series of tricks. Follow these steps for each trick. Leading. At the start of each trick, the leader selects a card of any suit from their hands and place it face up on the table as the lead card. This card determines the trick's lead suit. For example, brains, love, speed, or strength. Following in clockwise order, starting with the left to the left of the leader, each of the player must play. Each other player plays a card face up on the table. Players must follow the suit if possible. If they can play a card that matches the lead suit, they must do so. If none of their cards match, they may play a different suit. Example, play a different suit to the lead card. Yeah, that's kind of redundant. Once every player has played a card, determine the winner of that trick. Normally, the player who played the highest valued card of the lead suit wins the trick. However, heart, love, is the trump suit, so its cards take priority. If the trick contains any love cards, the player who played the highest valued love card wins the trick, even if love is not the lead suit. The winner of the trick places the card from the trick face down in a pile in front of them, separate from the other tricks. They won in that round. I mean, I don't play a lot of these kind of games, so so bear with me. The winner of the tricks places the winner of the trick places the cards from the trick face down in a pile in front of them, separate from other tricks they've won in that round. The winner then leads the next trick and plays continues until all 8 tricks have been played. So you have to create, like, if you win all 8 rounds, you have to create like 8 piles. Yeah. And it's face down. That's interesting. Okay. Let me see. Lead card. Leader. The leader played 7 brains for the lead card. Going clockwise, each player plays a brain card except for player 2 who had no brain card to play. The highest valued card does not win because it doesn't follow suit and it isn't a trump. The only anyway, let's not go there. A low value card wins because, okay, unless you have the, let's not call it a trump card. We'll call it the overseer card. How about that? Okay. So if you have an overseer card, then you win the trick. Okay, other information. Always discard face down. This applies to both story cards and playing cards. You may look at your superhero cards at any time, but not the playing cards from any previous trick. And I guess because the superhero card at the end has like a mega effect that can change the way the game ends. The abilities that mention cards are referring to playing cards, not story, event, or superhero cards. Printed card values range from 1 to 13, but the abilities may change them to below 1 or above 13. If an ability changes the suit or the value of a card and this results in a tie, the first played card wins the tie. Okay. If a card is empty, if the card deck is empty and a card needs to be drawn, shuffle the discard pile to form a new deck. If the deck is empty and there is no discard pile, skip the draw. Ha. Okay. Whenever you gain or lose VP, update your VP immediately, not just at the end of the round. Yeah, that's a good idea. When players exchange or draft cards, those players simultaneously pass cards face down to their recipient. Player may not see the cards they're receiving before choosing which cards to send. Any increase in stamina is permanent, removed, and return stamina. Go to your personal stamina supply unless the ability specifies that you permanently lose stamina. Okay, I mean it seemingly it's like simple enough, right? So yeah, I guess we'll see. Okay, now I'm supposed to read like through the solo stuff. So round setup. So let's just. I think we're supposed to already been playing, like I said, but it does say your turns. Yeah, and in Event Guardians, you don't get to go first, right? They never a random player. Since the Event Guardians are just stacks of cardboard, they can't deal cards. You always do that, but the dealer token is used to determine who leads the trick. So who? How do we determine who lead the trick though? Um, that's the dealer token. The person who won would be leading the trick next. So who begins? Who leads the trick for a solo game at the beginning? I mean, how do we determine the leader of the first round? I guess is what I'm trying to figure out. And each round looks like you get an additional stamina. Yeah, I don't. Hmm. Is there like there's no mention of who leads the trick for the first round. I'm just trying to determine that. I mean, is it random? Because that dealer token for like multiplayer game is just that. It's just the skip portion here for that dealer token. It says the player who most recently watched a superhero movie gains the dealer token, or assign it randomly. That's actually kind of funny. The funny thing about this is like even though I like these like superhero themed board games, I hate superhero movies because most of them are horrible. But anyway, that last Superman was also pretty bad. But okay, probably gonna get a lot of hate from that one. All right, let's see. How do I determine who leads? I guess we'll just choose one at random. But well, I guess because the Vencardians. So how? Okay, let's see how this works with these with the bots here. Okay, so round setup and Vencardian keywords. Okay. Gather the 5 cards. Where they did that. Exclude the extra love cards. Deal 8 cards to myself and placing them face up. And then yeah, they shouldn't have said at the beginning of round 3. Okay, we're not even in round 3 yet. They should have like yeah. I mean even like the prioritizing the explanation is just so off. Why don't you just say at the beginning of round 1 through 4 and then at the beginning of round 3 only? I mean it's like just I don't know. It's like maybe like with these board games they just like write the draft of the rule book and then they just go from there. I mean they don't nobody rereads like what's submitted and then just say okay this doesn't make any sense. um, Gain 1 stamina from the general supply, so I'm gonna gain the 1 stamina. So we actually at the start of the game you start with 1, but each round you gain 1. Okay, and then of course they didn't explain that too, so but I assume because this 1 is part of the setup. That's the thing. But like, is there a FAQ? There's no FAQ. Oh, not in this game. Um, they do have an example. No, they don't. Because it's part of the setup that's separate from when the game actually starts. I mean, see, I mean, there should have been like a clarification for this, but I know that they want you whenever you read these rule books, they want you to just um, like take it at face value. You're not supposed to question it. If it doesn't say anything about that, then yeah, it's not applicable, kind of a deal. But sometimes you just want to make sure that you're playing the game right, and some of these things. Stupid fucking cat. Okay. Anyway. Okay, let's see. Because this is just the setup. The setup says gain random map, gain 1 alignment VP, gain 1 stamina. So you already come into the game with 1 stamina. Yeah, start game with 1 stamina. Okay. And what is his ability here, Nanamdi? Seeds of Strength. After you play a card, you may remove 1 stamina to draw a card, then discard a card. Oh, okay. So, how is that beneficial to us? After you play a card, so every time after you play the card, you may remove 1 stamina to draw a card and then discard to replace your card, I guess. It's interesting, but I guess I need to play the game and see how that could be beneficial. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Uh, Draw 3 story cards, and that would be these. Place one of them face up on your player mat over the number of the current round and discard the other 2. Okay. So I have to choose. So let's, I guess we'll start. So 1, 2, 3. So I got Huntress, which is an ally, and it requires 2 stamina to activate her. And it says win a trick. If you played an Overseer, Love, split the trick into 2 winning tricks for scoring purposes. Okay, that's interesting. But I need to place 2 stamina for that. Oh, and I gain a stamina for the start of this round. Now, this is round 1. Okay, we're already starting to play the game. The Burn is a super suit. Ongoing. Add 2 to the value of your strength cards. The first play card breaks ties. Okay, so this is cool because any strength card that I play will always get a +1, at +2. So that's kind of cool. And then Arch Enemy, Cindaria. When charged, draw 1 card, then discard 1 card. If you won exactly 1 trick, gain 2 VP at the end of the round. Okay. I like the Burn and I like Cindaria, but the Burn is like suit specific, so you have to have a lot of like strength cards. I mean, like right now, I do like the idea of that. So I'm gonna grab the super suit here, the Burn. So and then do I get to charge them now? At any time? What's the deal? I mean, let's see. At the beginning of round 5, okay, let's not worry about that. Place the stamina tokens on the abilities to charge them. Each story card shows its stamina cost in the upper left corner. Most cards have a single cost, like 2 is a single 2 stamina cost. If an ability has 2 costs, that you may choose how many to pay to vary its utility. Costs with minus are tied to remove abilities. Okay. So like these, because you can remove them to do the Seeds of Strength. Okay. When charged, abilities that cause cards to be exchanged with a Vanguardian must be performed after Vanguardian setup. Your character mat shows the character's specific ability and stamina cost. This ability can be charged and used like story card abilities. If you have access, stamina remains in its supply. Choose alignment. Place the alignment of VP dial of your chosen side. Red hero or purple is villain. So this is before we even start playing. So this is just setup. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and charge the super suit though. So let me go ahead and charge that. And this is going to stay here, looks like, for the remainder of the game because it's an ongoing effect. So all of my strength cards have a +2. Okay, now the Vanguardian setup. Set the 4 extra left cards off to the side. Each Vanguardian deals 8 cards like we did earlier. Oh, I talk a lot, huh? It's already an hour. We barely played the game. It's already an hour. Okay, I'm going to... I do this so that the files don't get too big. So I'm going to end this session now, and then we're going to continue with the second session.